So next up we need to take a look at our sidebar in our activity details page. So let's head over to VS Code and let's take a look at our activity details sidebar in this case. And at the moment we've just got static content for all of this to provide the view inside our components. And our activity detailed sidebar is going to need to get the attendees from the activity detailed page. So let's also open activity details. And what we can do is, just like we did for the list item attendees, we'll add attendees. And we'll set this equal to our activity.attendees. And no surprises, we're going to need to create an interface for our attendees inside our sidebar. So we'll create an interface and call it iProps. And once again, we'll set the attendees as type of attendee array. And once again, we'll specify the type of the component. So it's a React functional component with iProps as the type. And once again, we'll pass in the attendees in here. And a few things we need to do here. We need to specify the number of people going. So what we'll do is we'll use the attendees.length to specify the number of people going. Then we'll add a space. And then we'll check the length of the attendees. And if the length of the attendees is equal to 1, then we'll add some text saying people. And if it's other than 1, then we'll say, in fact, this is the wrong way around. This should say 1 person. And the alternative case should be people. So it'll either be 0, 2, 3, or 4 people, or 1 person in that case. And I'll say going. And then what we want to do is loop over our attendees. And we've got an item here that has the host label and 2 other items, and we'll use this one with the host label because we will want to display this label for the user that is the host, and we'll work on that shortly. But for now, what we'll do is we'll specify above the item, we'll say attendees.map, and we'll specify the attendee, and inside here we'll just cut and paste our item inside here. And we'll use the attendee.username as the key. So we'll say attendee.username. And then let's just reformat and then just add the rest of the properties in here. Now I'm just going to not display the host label, and what I'll do just for now, I'll just add a const saying isHost and set it to false at the top of the component. And just to hide the label for now, I'll just say isHost and just add the closing bracket after the label. And then what we want to do is specify the attendee.displayname. And we also want to make this a link to their profile, which we don't have yet. But let's change this to /profile/ and enter the attendee.username. The following we'll have to deal with later. And the image, we'll set this up as well so that when we do have images, it'll already be there and we won't need to do anything additional. So we'll just specify the attendee image or our static image in this case. And that should be all we need to do. We just need to remove the other 2 items in here, so we don't need either of those. And let's just reformat things. And let's go take a look. So in our browser, let's see what we've got. We've got Bob as the only attendee of this particular activity. Seems okay. And if I take a look at one with more attendees, the past activity 2, we can see that we've got 2 attendees in there. And just pick another random one, and this looks fine as well. So what we want to look at next is we need to work out whether the currently logged in user, and in this case it's Bob, we need some properties to decide if the user's attending an activity is the host of an activity or not attending the activity at all. And that will allow us to configure these buttons inside our header, because we only want to display one of these. And it'll also allow us to set a label on our activity list to highlight if the user's hosting or just simply attending an activity. And we'll take a look at starting to configure that next.